I have been on a reading journey this week, and I'm gonna need all the people that are always like, oh, you never unhaul books in your book unhauling video to pay attention today. Now, as you know, we are reading the books we already own, going through our bookshelf one book at a time, reading the ones we haven't read yet, and deciding what gets to stay and what's gotta go. When last we met, I had just started The Hedge Witch of Fox Hall. I got about 5 or 6 chapters into this, realized I just was like not vibing about it. I didn't care about any of the characters. I didn't care about what was going on, and I was like, that's it, I'm out. I'm trying to be better at DNFing books that don't bring me joy, okay? I'm trying to build this skill. So unfortunately, this is going to be an unhaul. We'll get it into the hands of someone who will love it. After that, I started reading The Night Ends with Fire. I bought this because it was pretty, obviously. This is definitely one of those adult books that very much reads like young adult. In fact, if you had told me this was young adult, I would have believed you for at least part of the book. This book is heavily inspired by The Tale of Mulan, and unfortunately, I also DNF'd this. I got about a third of the way in and just realized it wasn't doing enough for me to separate itself from Mulan. It really just felt like a Mulan retelling, but like edgier and darker, more adult. And I really liked it at first, but the further I got, the less interested I became, and then it's just not for me. We'll get it to someone who loves it. But all of those false starts brought us to something amazing. Because after those, I came upon Skandar and the Unicorn Thief. This is the first book in a middle grade series. It follows a character named Skandar who lives in a modern day world where unicorns are real and are bloodthirsty, ferocious monsters. Unless, of course, they bond with a rider at birth. Every 13-year-old has to take like a test to see if they can bond a unicorn. And Skandar goes to take the test, but the test officials are like, no, thank you. You must go back home. But then this very shady lady shows up in the middle of the night at his house and is like, no, get your stuff. You're coming to unicorn school. It turns out that Skandar was not allowed to take the test because he is bonded to a very special and illegal type of unicorn. And I won't give away anything more, but what I will say is that I loved this. This made me feel nostalgic for the type of fantasy that I loved when I was a kid, the type of fantasy that got me into reading. It has got a really cool world with lots of like intricate details to explore. It's got a ton of twists and turns, and yes, some of them are predictable, but others just were not. I did not see some things coming. This is a fast, fun adventure. It's also got like a great mystery. There is a unicorn thief in the book, and throughout the story you're trying to figure out who that is. And I thought the reveal, though somewhat predictable, was also really well done. I also just loved seeing unicorns portrayed in this like kind of scary way. Normally in a story like this, we would see characters riding dragons, but having it be like elemental allied unicorns, I think makes it that much more interesting. Someone in the comments of a YouTube video where I talked about this called it Fourth Wing, but with unicorns, which I think is kind of true, except that I think this is better written than Fourth Wing. So point is, I adored this, and the good news is I actually originally got this in a PR package, so I already have books 2 and 3. The series is done. There are 5 books, and there's also a 6th book that is like a prequel that I think just came out. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading these. Would you prefer a roundup of the entire series when I'm done, or would you like check-ins as I finish each book? Let me know. But more importantly, what are you reading off of your bookshelf this week? Let me know in the comments. And while you do that, I'm gonna go back to Unicorn Land.